Hello, you're watching Vietnam News Agency's Bulletin broadcast from Hanoi. I'm Ngọc Ly, and now let's take a look at our headlines as usual.
Prime Minister hopes for Japan's continued cooperation in pandemic combat. Vietnam attends 15th ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting. Athlete Lotus season in Da Nang.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on June 15th hosted a reception for Japanese Ambassador to Vietnam Yamada Takeo, during which he suggested the Japanese government and relevant agencies continue to cooperate with Vietnam in the fight against COVID-19.
Prime Minister Chính asked the diplomat to propose the government and competent agencies of Japan encourage Japanese businesses to promote two-way trade, especially creating favorable conditions for Vietnam's exports such as agricultural and seafood products and seasonal fruits to enter the Japanese market. He called on Japanese investors to continue investing in Vietnam, especially in infrastructure development and areas where Japan has strength and Vietnam has potential. Ambassador Takeo conveyed a message from Japanese Prime Minister Suga Yoshihide to Prime Minister Chính, which announced the Japanese government's decision to provide Vietnam with 1 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines, saying that this is a testament to the deep friendship between Vietnam and Japan. Takeo affirmed the Japanese government's strong cooperation commitment with Vietnam, saying that Vietnam is still the best investment destination for Japanese companies and investors.
The 57th meeting of the National Assembly Standing Committee wrapped up on June 15th after 1.5 days of sitting.
Closing the meeting, National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ said that the committee completed all the set agenda by debating 6 issues and adopting 1 resolution on personnel work. He asked relevant agencies and organizations, as well as individuals, to right after the meeting promptly acquire ideas given at the meeting and conclusions of the committee on particular issue to complete a report for subcommission to the 15th National Assembly at its first plenary session. As scheduled, the 15th legislature will convene the preparatory meeting before opening the first plenary session on July 20th, stressing that successful organizing the session is the most important task.
A Vietnamese delegation led by Minister of National Defense Senior Lieutenant General Phan Văn Giang attended the 15th ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting, which was held via video conference on June 15th.
Speaking at the event, Giang expressed his support for Singapore's proposal to continue holding the ADMM Plus, which was launched in 2010 when Vietnam served as the ASEAN chair. He said the mechanism helped enhance the sharing of opinions on defense and security strategies amid regional and global uncertainties, as well as reflected the commitment to promoting practical cooperation between armies of the regional nations and its dialogue partners for the sake of peace, cooperation and development in the region and the world. Participants adopted a joint declaration marking the 15th anniversary of the ADMM towards building a bloc of peace and prosperity. Parties concerned also pledged to promote maritime security, safety and freedom to peacefully settle disputes in the sea. At the unofficial meeting between defense ministers of ASEAN and China on the sidelines of the ADMM, participants reviewed the achievements of the ASEAN-China defense cooperation. They proposed collaboration agenda to celebrate the 30th founding anniversary of the establishment of China-ASEAN dialogue relations. They also exchanged views on regional and international issues of mutual concern.
As the whole country comes together to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, electricity boxes along streets in Hanoi have become works of art, creating a new look for much of the capital as part of the pandemic prevention efforts.
Electricity boxes in Han Ba Chung district in Hanoi have been given a new and unique look from vivid artworks to encourage doctors and nurses to fight the COVID-19 pandemic on the front lines. The job has been carried out by the Veterans Association of Han Ba Chung district in cooperation with the Youth Union of Backward World. I see the boxes every day when I go outside. This is quite creative and good way to empower frontline doctors in the fight against the pandemic.
The paintings are very meaningful and a way to support and encourage people to increase their awareness about pandemic prevention.
The electricity boxes are decorated with vivid images and slogans that are familiar and easy to understand, helping people raise their awareness and be more responsible in the pandemic prevention.
It's an interesting thing to do, and the boxes are really eye-catching. I hope they will help raise awareness about pandemic prevention.
The creative and unique images not only spread messages about COVID-19 prevention among community, but also contribute to beautifying the capital streets.
Quick money transfers using QR codes officially come into operation nationwide on June 15th. From this point onwards, all e-payment systems at various banks are connected as customers use QR codes to make interbank transactions.
No cash is needed, no bank account. Bank customers need only scan a QR code and the funds are transferred in the blink of an eye.
Just scanning a QR code is convenient, as I don't need to enter a long bank account number. I can easily transfer money to a shipper without having to contact them directly.
Each bank had their own QR code system previously, so customers using the services of one bank could not use QR codes to transfer money to another bank. As of June 15th, however, this can all be done quite easily. Customers can even create their own QR codes to receive money.
Companies accepting QR payments can display the sign with the Việt QR logo to let customers know the service is available.
As long as they have a bank account, anyone can create their own QR code to receive money. This is particularly helpful with shippers and small business owners, given that online shopping has been booming since the COVID-19 pandemic first took hold.
The stock market is still an attractive investment channel for investors in near future. However, it also poses many challenges for regulators and market members, say experts. The strong cash flow flooding the stock market in May and the early sessions of June has spurred the indices, making them skyrocket new record levels. The number of newly opened accounts and market liquidity are both the highest levels in history, causing the trading system to become unresponsive and overloaded. However, investors are still very excited and the liquidity has not shown any sign of cooling down. Facing these developments, market regulators are applying drastic solutions both in the short and long term to meet market requirements. As of the end of May, the stock market capitalization reached 6.4 quadrillion Vietnam dong, up 21.7% compared to the end of 2020, equivalent to 102% of Vietnam's GDP. Despite recent impressive growth, Vietnam's stock market will still face great risks, including the prolonged global COVID-19 pandemic, according to experts. The World Blood Donor Day takes place on June 14th every year. This year, the World Health Organization's theme for the day was "Give Blood and Keep the World Beating." The message highlights the essential contribution blood donors make in saving lives and improving the health of others and even themselves.
Nguyễn Anh Tuấn has donated blood nearly 30 times over the last 10 years. For him, it not only helped patients in need of blood transfusions, but it's also good for his own health.
As I regularly donate blood, I'm more aware of how it keeps me healthy. I want to help others through donating healthy blood. We keep asking people to donate blood, not only to save patients, but also as a way to keep themselves healthy.
It's estimated that 5,200 blood units are needed every day in Vietnam for emergency cases and treatment. Over the last 2 years, though COVID-19 has wreaked havoc on blood donation campaigns, organizations and individuals have still taken part in donation drives to save the lives of thousands of patients, including those with COVID-19.
Our department frequently holds blood donation drives. When we call for donors, most of our staff respond enthusiastically and are happy to donate.
Some 1.4 million blood units were donated last year, representing 1.5% of the population and saving the lives of thousands of patients. It's hoped that more people will be willing to donate to help those in need.
4 Vietnamese universities have made it into the list of top universities worldwide in 2022 World University Rankings by UK educational organisation Quadralis Simons.
The rankings feature 1,300 of the world's most prestigious universities in 93 countries and territories. The Vietnam National University Hanoi and the Vietnam National University Ho Chi Minh City featured in Group 801 to 1,000 best universities globally for the 4th consecutive time. The Vietnam National University Ho Chi Minh City has been placed as 398th for academic reputation. Its rankings has been improved over the past 3 years. Meanwhile, Tôn Đức Thắng University and Hanoi University of Science and Technology are named in the list for the first time in the 1,001 to 1,200 group and 1,201 plus group respectively.
The Education for Nature Vietnam ENV said as many as 157 wild animals were saved thanks to notice from residents via its hotline in May. The Education for Nature Vietnam also reported that there were 299 crime cases related to wildlife were dealt with during the month, adding that it also recorded the 20,000th case since its Wildlife Protection Office and hotline 1800-1522 was launched in 2005. After receiving notice from the Education for Nature Vietnam, the Bình Dương Provincial Forest Ranger Department received 44 rare and precious turtles, which have already been sent to the Zo Tieng Wildlife Conservation Station in the locality. As summer arrives, lotus ponds around the country in bloom and becoming attractive check-in destination for many people. A late lotus season and fear of COVID-19, meanwhile, have discouraged people in the central beach city of Da Nang from going out and enjoying the flowers.
More than 10 kilometers from the city center, the lotus ponds in Hoa Sơn Commune, Hoa Vang district in Da Nang City are now in full bloom, giving the peaceful spot a poetic beauty. Photographers often come to the ponds from early in the morning to snap beautiful images.
I think it is all quite simple. If lotus growers arrange additional decorative items such as bamboo bridges, water jars, and miniatures, they will attract more visitors.
According to local people, the lotus seasons usually last just 3 or 4 months, but is the main source of income for local farmers. With a large open space, lotus ponds also have a lot of potential for tourism development and services for visitors.
And it's also wrapped up our news bulletin. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.